Welcome back to Dum-Dums and Dragons, where improvisers who've never roleplayed before journey into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. I am the Grand Wizard Bukake, your host. After Alan's disappearance, our heroes miss their friend desperately, but a civil war demands they ride to Phandalin right away. But will Butthole Quinny and Bucky survive their hang glider ride to the Earth? What will be the fate of the friends and fortunes our heroes left behind in Phandalin? And what the hell is going on with the mysterious figure in the cave? Find out next on Dum-Dums and Dragons.
Bucky, however, fails, so his glider bursts into flame, and he veers wildly off.
Well, off I
go! So you see Bucky spiraling in flames off into the north.
I look to Quinny and I just yell, "He's gonna be fine! He's really good at this!"
Having said that, you guys crash into the brush. So the gliders make contact against the trees. Obviously, this wasn't the descent you planned. They shatter on impact. You're kind of thrown roughly into that classic falling through the trees tumbly mode. Finally, you come to a halt. You're sort of in a small open clearing, and you can see sort of a large cave mouth before you, and you recognize this is where you once convinced a goblin to watch your stuff. And it would seem that you're back at Cragmore Caves. You had your very first adventure.
Only without Alan.
Yeah, it's a sadder version of this. So we unstrap the table. We'll get the gear that we can get out of the fucking trees and strap it to the table.
Goblin Jr. very tentatively, like looking to make sure neither of you is following, slowly pads into the entrance of the cave. Would you notice this?
I'm not interested in setting up the walking table so much as I am as like scouting. So
okay, as you're kind of like looking around, you see that Goblin Jr. is padding away stealthily into the cave.
I'm just going to be loading the table because I'm pretty clueless, I would imagine. If I saw Quinny on stealth, and I'd go, "Oh, thieves in there refusing to put things on tables," and then I'm putting shit on the table.
Quinny, what are you doing with that?
yeah, I'll go follow Goblin Jr.
You follow Goblin Jr. at distance. You see him walk tentatively into sort of the entrance of the cave. Remember, other wolves were once strapped up. And you can see him nosing some of the bones that are there. And then all of a sudden you see him look up to the right and go, "Snarf?" And he pads over to a figure you've never seen before who is leaning down to pat Goblin Jr.
Oh, hey, are you the one?
Snarf?
I'm going to use Speak with Animals
Okay.
for this.
Oh, isn't his voice Burt Reynolds?
It is. R.I.P.
Oh, that's too bad. We're recording this like the day after he died. Everyone.
There's no greater tribute than Goblin Jr.
So I just put my hand on his head and say, "I'm speaking with you now."
Oh, hey.
All right, amazing. Okay, so maybe you can help me out. I'm looking for some things, maybe people.
Yeah, all right.
Did a bunch of things fall here and maybe one didn't, one like arose?
My best friend, he brought a hammer down a bunch here, and then they took me with them. So maybe, he killed my brothers, but then he took me. So maybe I'm the one who rose? I am
what's
the
your
king
name?
of dogs.
My goodness.
I'm Goblin Jr. It's a pleasure to meet you. It's real nice to talk to someone. I don't get to do this very often.
It's a pleasure to meet you too.
Yeah, snarf.
I'm Juniper.
Juniper. Oh, hey,
Yeah.
that's a great name.
Oh,
That's a great
thank
name.
you.
Cool. Quinny, you've walked up and you just hear Juniper and Goblin Jr. saying snarfity, snarf, 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 back and forth a lot.
A weird thing happens because as the one of many faces intercedes more and more into my consciousness, there's more influence there. I have the ability to see in the dark now. So the cave, it just looks like a long tunnel that I can see most of the detail of. But also the snarf, snarf, snarf slowly just turned into words for me as well. And I also cast Speak with Animals.
Knowing he can see the scene, what does the new figure look like?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
Laura, why don't you tell us about your new character?
So I am a human. I'm about 5'4", super muscular, and I'm decked out in chainmail that's adorned with metals and leather strapping that kind of look like branches and leaves and twisting vines.
Oh, cool.
I'm just like super tanned, like I've been out in the wilderness. My hair's disheveled, got like brown hair.
Would you describe yourself as masculine or femme, or where are you in that whole spectrum?
I'm a woman.
So I draw my sword.
Oh, no. I'm coming in peace. Hi.
Hey now, everybody calm down. I've always been the voice of reason, just no one ever listens to me. So you all just chill out, that'd be great.
I'm chill.
Yeah, great, she's chill. How about you? How about you, Quinny?
Goblin Jr.?
Yeah, hey, what's up?
Hey, when could you talk?
When could you talk?
Oh, who is this?
Oh, this is Juniper.
Excuse me?
Yeah, Juniper.
Oh, hello.
Juniper.
Yes, Juniper here.
Yeah, we just met. She's cool.
You've just met her?
Yeah, I just met.
She cool? Like,
Yeah, I'm the chosen one. She was just telling me I'm the chosen one.
I think I've been looking for you, for maybe you too.
Oh man, I must be going crazy.
All you people are crazy. That's why I love you. Snarf, snarf.
Butthole, you better come check this out.
There's more? There's
Don't
more
move.
of you?
Don't move, Juniper.
Okay.
I walk in with the table holding Moonlight Bringer. I can only see like 5 feet in front of me. It's dark, and I'm like, "Where is everybody?" And all I'm hearing is echoes of creepy snarfs in 3 different voices.
Star.
Quinny.
Star.
And I'm saying, I'm right over here, but all you hear is, snarf, snarf, snarf. I mean, Butthole, come follow the sound of my voice.
Snarf.
And Goblin Juniors.
I have mine too.
And
Who's that?
Junipers?
Juniper. That's a good berry. And
It is.
I
I
walk
was
over.
named after juniper berries.
See, it all checks out.
You know what? I like this lady.
Yeah, snarf. I hear you too. Okay. Whoa, Quinny, make a friend?
I don't know yet.
Oh, we can't trust his opinion of people.
Oh, I mean, after that guy you're telling me about, Gary, I mean, should we trust anyone? Snarf?
Yeah, snarf, buddy.
Snarf.
That guy gets it.
This guy gets it.
This is at a whole new level to our podcast. I wish listeners could see Tom as Goblin Jr. He's got like his arms crossed. He's like leaning back. He's like, "Hey guys, what's up? I'm Goblin Jr. We're just chilling here in this cave."
He's going full Bert.
Yeah.
My mustache has grown more majestic as I've been doing this.
So I was just telling Goblin Jr. here that I've been looking for some, I think, people in a place where things had fallen and one of them arose. I think that's Goblin Jr. and I think you might be the people. I'd pull up my scroll to see if anything's changed.
In a blinding flash, it says, "You must help the vessel, the cursed, and the stained."
What you got on that paper?
No, you're definitely the people I've been looking for. Do you know anything about something called the vessel, the cursed, and the stained, together or separately?
2 out of those 3.
I know 3
Who's the
would be
third
my
one?
guess. Well, which one do you not know?
I don't know who the cursed is.
Stop snarfing at me. Just tell me what I fucking want to know.
Fuck, shit.
Then Goblin Jr. looks at you and goes, "Snarf," and then points at Quinny.
Got it. Thank you.
Snarf.
What do you mean I'm the cursed?
Look, bud, see all that weird shit going on up there? You're cursed.
All right, if the talking dog says so.
I'm the vessel because they said that they
Yeah,
were
I
going to make
remember
me a
hearing that.
vessel
I
from the
remember
whole.
hearing that.
Whoa.
I'm so stoked.
I mean, admittedly, the vessel sounds more exciting. Being excited about the guy who's known as the cursed seems a little bit slapping the huggish. Then we've got the stained.
That's Alan. That was her
I know.
name that the crew gave her.
Who's Alan?
Alan-
Why isn't Alan here? All
That's
of
a
you
good
are.
question.
Alan's
What?
having an identity crisis right now, so we're trying to deal with that long term. But short term, right now, we're dealing with the invasion that's killing everyone.
Oh, I have to help you with that then.
You been to Fandolin recently?
Look at look, and I just like shove the scroll in their faces. Look, I have to help you.
Can we read it or anything? Or
I think it's completely blank. It's just really weathered old parchment.
I feel like maybe Butthole and Quinny kind of like share a look here.
Yeah,
like,
this is we do the office camera take to
just
each
like,
other.
We've just encountered a very well-dressed cave hermit.
So, are you good at fighting?
Am I good at fighting?
That was the
That's what
question.
I asked
Yeah,
you.
and I just like pull up my sword. Yeah, this is mine. And it's just like
And I just go,
I
all
think
right.
every movement you make with like thrusting the scroll forward and like drawing your weapon is Quinny's like, he's like ready but not doing anything.
And I'm
Goblin
just like-
Jr.'s like prepped for a dog's purpose, but doesn't really know.
I'm a paladin.
I just hold out a hand and I say, "Welcome to the resistance. Do
we
you
have a
need a
name."
crossbow?
Sure.
Do you have a ranged weapon? No, this is great." And I go over
I
to
got
the-
a short bow, but a crossbow would be great.
Yeah, this will be useful. So I take a crossbow from our walking
Juniper,
table of
can you
weapons.
roll me a perception check, please?
Sure. 12.
They hand you a crossbow that's got one of the unseen hand insignias on it. And from your knowledge of martial weapons, like this thing is in bad repair, hasn't been oiled, hasn't been cleaned. To you, this looks like a weapon that was discarded.
yeah, take that. Welcome to the team.
Been pillaging recently?
Yeah. Those are weapons from the bad guys who we beat, so we're using their weapons because we got to go arm the townsfolk.
Okay, who are the bad guys?
The unseen hand.
Unseen hand, the plantier.
Plantiers, but really the Tingler family and the assorted forces of the Tingler family are a problem.
Juniper, can you roll me a history check, please?
Sure. 10.
Your people have a pretty good oral tradition of storytelling and history, but these aren't names you really know. Mm-hmm. These don't seem like things that you would have known or cared about.
Right. Regardless of whether I know what they're talking about, I am convinced these are the people from the prophecy, and I'm helping them in whatever way I
Yep,
can.
absolutely.
So, like, I am going along with this.
So here's the question. If that thing looks sort of shitty to you, do you want one of the newer ones, or do we just have to fix that, or should I throw out all the old weapons?
I think it's a matter of perspective because while that weapon looks kind of shitty to you, your scroll looks kind of empty to us.
Oh.
Okay, we sort of have...
That's embarrassing.
We're sort of at odds on this, which is he'd like to be mean and I would like to be effective.
And I'm kind of in the middle. She's pretty cool, but I can see your point.
Yeah,
He's
you're
just
right.
staring at Goblin Jr.
I mean, I can't read anyway, so don't know what's on that scroll, but I don't like that Quinny can't see it.
Just go with me on this, all right?
Are you snarfing or speaking English?
I'm Goblin Jr. I'll explain this later to you. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I speak English too. I can understand it.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah, I've been following these guys around for a while.
Okay, so
I do parade tricks.
I'm going to revert to English.
All right,
I
snarf.
wanted to be respectful.
No, thank you. Appreciate that.
Just please go with me. I'm part of a prophecy.
Okay.
No, like it's been going on for a long time, all right? Like we've known this is going to happen, but now I have to see it through, and I don't really know exactly what I'm going to do, but on this scroll, every once in a while it tells me the next part of it.
She's pointing at nothing on an empty page.
I can see it.
Okay, here's what I'm saying, though. Does the scroll say you can take orders and join the resistance?
It just says to help you.
We are
So,
the resistance, baby!
I'm
Cave
helping
Hermit
you.
wants to help us. We might as well let Cave Hermit
Like
help us.
I'm in, guys.
She's in.
Perfect. Let's keep...
Great.
We got to go save the town now, though. Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
Nice.
What town?
Fandolin.
All right, yeah.
Together with your new compatriot, you go off to save Fandolin.
We lose one enthusiastic, agreeable player. We gain another one.
Bucky's going to be so jealous.
So now that you've grouped up, you're able to recover the rest of the gear that fell off the table and the gliders. And you're just a little bit north of Fandolin. So further north from you, if you'll remember, up the coast is Neverwinter. You seem to be far enough away that you can't really see any patrols or anything. But I'd say, Juniper, you probably noticed on your way in, you were able to kind of stick to the shadows. They weren't really paying any attention to you. But you've definitely seen a lot of military patrols going up and down.
Okay.
You don't know who they are necessarily. You don't recognize any insignias, but you know what's up. To your south is Fandolin. So it would seem that Bucky has probably landed pretty far north and is likely in enemy territory. So it'd be inadvisable to... Great. Someone's going to be wearing him like a coat next time.
They show him they have his head as a hat and it's like a cape of his skin going down.
3 cheers for Bucky shoot.
Oh, no.
It's Carvo.
I don't want that to happen.
So what is your plan? How do you want to approach this? Keeping in mind that Fandolin is a small side town, you know from a bit of your time in between adventures that it's grown a bit, particularly with the success and popularity of the Temple of Moonhammer attraction. None of you have been there.
No, we haven't been back since.
Yeah, you haven't
we
been back
founded the
since you
temple
left.
and left. We keep sending
Bucky would have
people
been there
wherever
most
we were.
recently.
Yeah,
We've
Bucky
lost
would have been
him
there most
for
recently.
now.
I would say if we were looking at it tactically, the way I would pitch it to you guys. All right, you've seen military patrols. You told us that, Juniper. Quinny, we know people on the inside, but we don't know what the town's like when we get there.
Right.
This is why we got the walking table. I think we got to stay parallel to the road, but just out of sight so we don't get spotted. Then we could see what the town looks like, and we could figure out how to approach from there. But if it's garrisoned, that's going to be really different than if there's just nobody there.
Okay.
Because if they got security and walls and shit, we're going to either have to bluff our way through or fight our way through.
Scale them or something. Yeah.
But if it's still just open and there's no military, then we can go check it out. Any objections?
No, let's go.
I'm on board with this.
Great. So begin walking south. For Quinny and for Butthole, this is weirdly nostalgic, but Alan's absence is pretty heavily
Nostalgic
felt.
and tragic in equal measure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Once you start to come around the bend that you know Fandolin's just beyond, you can see some kind of smoke rising. It doesn't look like fire necessarily, just almost looks like exhaust. And as you come around Butthole, you immediately notice that there aren't any garrisons. You're at distance, so you can see people moving around. It's kind of hard to see. Do you guys want to try and look closer? Do you want to try and ascertain what kind of people are around? What do you want to do?
I think if we're going to try to start the resistance here, if the unseen hand is here and they're not a garrison, we might be looking at like 3 guys. We sort of got to go in and stomp them if we want to show that we can hold them off.
Yeah. Set an example, kind of get the people riled up, show them that they
just
don't
go
have to be.
big and brave.
What do you mean by stomp?
You'd hit them with stuff until they're dead, or if they were on the ground,
Or
you
if they don't
stomp on
wanna
them
fight anymore.
until they're dead. Or or surrender.
Okay.
I'm trying out something new where I don't kill everyone I encounter.
So he's theoretically trying out something new. We're really back and forth on how it's going to work out. Do you have an objection to killing?
If we can avoid it.
Tell you what, you meet these guys and we'll circle back to your feelings on killing them, okay?
I mean, they're people.
Oh man, this is going to be a long day. And we'll turn and I think just walk into town.
Okay.
With our totally discreet walking table covered in weapons.
I'm going to assume that the walking table fucks off to the woods. We'll say
Yeah,
Goblin,
we'd leave that behind.
Goblin Jr. goes with it to kind of keep an eye on it.
Goblin Jr. running security.
As you come into town, again, everything's a little dirtier. There's almost like a grime of soot everywhere. And you can see, if you'll recall, the manor house that you built the temple in was on the west side of town and kind of up a little hill. You can see it from here, and there seems to be belching smoke coming out of the top of it, but it's a ways away. You can actually see a lot of goblins moving around, but there also seem to be townsfolk. The goblins look jacked. You've rarely seen goblins who look this.
Swole goblins?
Yeah, they're
man.
and not healthily so. The muscles are bulging. They've got the veins.
So they're roided out goblins.
Yeah, they look like roided out goblins. Yeah, you can almost see blue in their veins occasionally. But the townspeople seem to be going about their business. It's very subdued, though. It's not like a happy, think almost Cold War, how you'd imagine sort of one of the smaller towns.
I'm going to slyly look to Quinny. Temple or Jim Jim's?
Jim Jim's, go to the local watering hole.
Yeah, we're going to
Hear
go
what
to
the
Jim
gossip
Jim's
is.
then.
Great.
Just trust us on this one, Juniper. We know this town a little bit.
Has it always looked like this?
No, it has not. That's why we're going to Jim Jim's.
As you start to walk in, the goblins seem to be giving you, not stink eye, but they're definitely sort of looking you up and down. You guys look combat ready. You've got two soldiery looking types.
And a little boy.
And their child. The goblins are mostly armed, and you can definitely see there are guards. A couple of goblins kind of patrolling.
Are they dressed at all like the goblins we knew from Pim Pims?
Actually, yeah, I guess they would be similar to the ones you saw at Pim Pims.
I just look over at them and I go, Goblin Union?
What?
Are you guys unionized?
The fuck you talking about?
Let's keep going.
Don't
buddy.
worry
Let's go.
about it.
Come
Don't
on.
worry.
All right, stranger. The people seem to be kind of like keeping their heads down. Everyone is definitely in full on, Soviet, keep your head down, don't make eye contact thing.
I like to Quinny. I don't like this.
Come on, papers, please, here.
So you make your way in. You can see a few of the familiar sights changed. The Lion Shield Trader's shop has been closed for quite some time, which makes sense given that Leanne's now on the ship. There was a shrine of luck in the center of town.
Timora, if I remember correctly.
Yes, exactly. It looks like no one's been taking care of it. You make your way through town. You're kind of looking for Uncle Jim Jim's. And as you know, Uncle Jim Jim's has a pretty definitive sign and era. But you come around a corner and there's a weird, looks like a tavern. And the sign says, closely related relatives, simple beverage house. And it's kind of in like that Earl's font. Like it looks like a very
Faux corporate.
Yeah, faux corporate. Yeah. Like no, we're a cool hip place you can hang out.
Are we seeing the unseen hand symbol anywhere on guards' uniforms
You
or
are
anything?
not seeing the unseen hand symbol anywhere.
Okay, so I'm just going to look to Quinny and go, there?
This is a small town. I don't see any other place. Yeah.
Let's go in and we'll order a rum and then we'll know. We drank a lot of that stuff.
Southern Dwarven, 5 beers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Good call.
Okay.
Good call. Juniper, this is going great. Don't worry about this. This is all good.
I love rum.
We're going to get along. Fine.
Okay, all right.
All right.
It's been so long.
You can have the first 5 we order.
So you enter the Simple Drink House. It is inside kind of as you'd imagined it would be from outside. It's orderly, but not in a nice way. Each table has salt and pepper there, done the thing where they like wrap the knife and the fork in an interesting way and stack them on top of each other.
Worcestershire sauce?
There isn't any.
This place is fucked.
So you enter and a human comes over. He looks like he's a teenager. This is probably his first job. Hello, and welcome to Closely Related Relatives Simple Beverage House. My name is Alphonsus Percival, and I will be your server today. You can call me Alfie. And then he points at his name tag and it says Alfie.
It's a
Alfie,
pleasure
got
to
it.
meet you, Alfie.
Hello, ma'am. May I show you 3 to a table or would you prefer the bar?
And Quinny says, Fringa.
I'm sorry, sir. Is that
The bar, Alphonsus. The bar.
Okay.
5 beers.
Fringa.
Wait. Okay.
Am I
sorry.
not saying
So he's
it
like
right?
he's
Or is
like
this a
pulling
bad
out his
sign?
he's pulling out his notebook and he's like, okay, the bar, but you also want 5 beers,
Correct.
And you want a fringa, sir. I don't think we sell a fringa here. Is that some kind of fried food?
Quinny
We
looks
have
at Butthole.
several.
No, that's the word for 5 beers. It's just in Southern Dwarven. He's a Southern dwarf. That's why he's so thin.
Okay. Ooh, I'm so sorry. Your kind aren't allowed in here, sir.
That's
You're
why
gonna
I'm
have to
actually
leave.
a halfling.
So why did he say you're a Southern dwarf?
Oh, he's a pathological liar. Only alcohol can right him.
I'm a gnome.
See what I'm talking about?
I should probably find my manager. Come on, Alfie. I really need this job, man.
Well, hold on a second, Alfie. You going to show some initiative here and solve this problem and seat some customers and, make a profit?
Are you sure you're not a dwarf?
Absolutely, I'm sure.
Okay.
We'll sit at the bar. Yeah, let's
Please
just go to
follow
the
me
bar.
this way. He leads you in.
All of us are giving each other really uncomfortable looks
Yeah.
behind
Yeah.
him. And I'm miming to Quinny stabbing him. just miming a little bit.
And I frown.
He seats you at the bar. There's a collection of generic bottles. Bud Light Radler as far as the eye can see behind the bar. He seats you there. He leaves some menus and he says, because you're seated at the bar, you get the true closely related relatives experience. So Uncle James himself will be out in a few minutes. So get ready for that. If you need anything, my name is Alphonsus Percival or Alfie. And he points at his name tag.
And I say, thanks, Alfie. And I flip him a gold coin.
He grabs it and his eyes go wide and just looks at you and he goes, thank you. Thank you. And he like sneaks it into his shoe and then scurries off to get your beers.
5 gold pieces as Uncle James comes out and he's lobotomized. Keep an eye out for that forehead scar.
Oh, that's what you think? I don't even think he's going to be a dwarf. I think we're getting a shitty white dude. They said no dwarves. Jim Dim's a dwarf.
Oh, yeah.
Or did they say, was it no dwarves or no southern dwarves?
No dwarves.
Oh.
He was fine as a halfling, but no dwarves. This is my problem. We left 2 fucking dwarves in charge of the temple. Now it's a fucking smoke shack. I got some concerns. We got to meet this Uncle James. Side note. We also need to find out whether or not Alphonsus is racist, because if he's fucking racist, I'm taking back that coin.
It seems like he's racist so far.
I can't rule it out, so I'm really trying to err on the side of friendship right now, but I will punch him so hard.
You don't owe him anything.
I owe everyone stuff. He was really nice. He's scared about his job. Maybe he's got a terrible manager. We've already confirmed outside there's no union, so his job security is nil. You don't know his hours. The wages seem terrible. That coin was way too exciting.
So, Juniper, you're
Deeply
watching
concerned.
theoretically the chosen ones.
I'm confused because I'm supposed to be helping, but when they're arguing, I don't know how to help.
You quietly slip the scroll out and stare at it, and it just stares blankly back at you. You slide it back into your pocket. This is an almost hourly routine.
So now we're just waiting for Uncle James. I finished my rant, and we all just sit and stare at the door Alfie went through.
I'll ask Juniper some stuff if we have a wait.
Yep.
Juniper,
How are you cursed?
I died, and then
I'm sitting between the two of them, just watching the door, but listening in both ears.
Yeah. I died and had to make some deals to survive down there in hell. I went to hell.
Why did you go to hell?
You'd be surprised how many people go to hell, honestly.
Are you like a bad person?
Am I a bad person? No. You know what? I'm not.
I can say from the depths of all of my heart and soul, he is a magnificent human being.
I'm a halfling.
It's a human-ish being. He's a human-shaped being.
So
See,
if
now I'm
you were
racist.
to
This is a
say
problematic bar.
Where you are on the scale of like light to dark.
I think it depends on the day.
He's light as hell, but he has a problem that sometimes makes him very dark. Hence, cursed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you ever see him do bad stuff, it's not his fault right now. And I lean over to Quinny. I'm really banking on that being true. Please don't fuck me on this.
He just gave me a huge get-out-of-jail-free card that I will be using regularly.
I noticeably relax.
The doors to the kitchen swing open.
Shit, I didn't learn anything about Juniper. Just have to wait for the next silence.
If there's one thing I know about this show is we'll never get character exposition or backstory ever.
I was going to say, now you know what it's like when someone's interviewing somebody else and they just find out about you, don't you, Quinny?
The doors swing open and a large, portly man comes out with a pretty impressive beard, and he looks at the three of you and smiles. He's got a tray with 5 beers. You notice that the beers are in those mugs that look nice, but hold less beer. And he comes out and he's like, hello there. It's me, your pal, Uncle James. Got an order of 5 beers here. And he puts them down on the table.
I slide myself 2, I slide Juniper 2, and I slide 1 to Quinny.
That's fine with Quinny.
I heard there was rum.
I'm afraid we are but a simple beverage shop, as the title suggests, but I'm sure you could enjoy this fine ale.
So, James, are you the owner? Go ahead, Juniper. Sorry to interrupt.
I down both of them as quickly as I can.
Well, I thought she had something to say, but she just drank the beer. So I slide her over 1 of my 2. And then I looked at James and I say, how long you own, James?
I used to run a place like this in a town called Winchester, but then I made some nice friends who told me to open one up here in Fandolin. Nicest place in Faerun, so here we are.
What were those friends like, James?
You know, they were a good bunch of folks.
Winchester, that's a predominantly dwarven kingdom, is it not?
Oh, hey, I mean, we don't deal with them.
Oh,
and he
no,
gives you
no.
a really serious look.
Oh, don't get offended at my friend here. I mean, we're fine, upstanding citizens here, James. We came in. This used to be a pretty dwarfy town, and now that we're back, there's no dwarves.
Yeah, well...
So what'd you guys do with them? Because it seems like you found a solution.
Oh, hey, I don't know anything about that. You know, I'm just a purveyor of simple beverages and slightly overpriced appetizers. Now, on that note...
I take out 5 gold pieces and put them on the table, and I say, James, you still sure you don't have any answers for us?
Roll me a persuasion check, please.
18.
He looks at the gold. He looks at you. He also is looking at how armored, particularly Juniper and Butthole are. And he looks around and he seems to be thinking through some stuff. So he just kind of quietly slides the 5 coins into the apron he's wearing. He's like, oh, haha. Well, no, I wouldn't know anything about that. I'm just a humble bar owner and proprietor here in Fandolin, the happiest place on earth. Oh, hang on. I think you guys had another beer, didn't you? And he turns around and you see him quickly scribble something down on a coaster and slide you a beer. Well, let me know if you'd like to hear any more about our appetizers. We have very middling calamari. And then he leaves.
Yeah, we'll check with you in a minute. And I pick up my beer and I flip over the coaster and I read it.
And it says mining office midnight.
And then I pass it over to Quinny so he can read it.
It says mining office midnight.
And then I take it back from Quinny and I say, Juniper, it's going to be a long night. And I put it in my pocket because I don't know her that well yet. And I've learned from previous friends. Here's the land of secrets. When it comes to the resistance, you got to learn to sort of take stuff as it goes because it's called intelligence. And certain people get intelligence and certain people don't. You're sort of new, so I don't know if we should trust you yet or not.
But I can keep a secret.
It's a long-winded way of saying that the coaster says close relatives average drink. It's the logo for the bar.
Can you roll me a deception check, please?
Gladly.
And
It's going to be a
Juniper, can you roll
17.
me an insight check, please?
15.
It's true. You've seen these coasters. They do say that.
Very odd, but okay.
Hello, it's me. My name is Alphonsus Percival, but you can call me Alfie. And he does the usual pointing.
Is it the same guy?
Yeah, he came back.
Okay, good. All right. No, I just want to make sure it's not some kind of horrifying.
I hope
like
that you
everyone
are
is out.
enjoying your beverages. Can I offer you some food, perhaps today?
Alfie, I got a question for you. It seems like you guys got this cool smoking manor up there. Do you guys do tours?
Oh,
For like tourists?
of the distillery? No, we do not, sir.
Do you know what? I think we might just go out for a walk on the town. Let me settle up for these drinks.
Okay, so you had you had
Wait,
6?
You are correct. 6.
Did I get the number wrong?
Nope, you were right.
Oh God, no! But you had 6, and I only brought you 5. Did you order from someone else?
James offered it.
Oh no, Alfie, you fucked up. Oh, you frigged up again, Alfie.
Here's the deal, Alfie. If you'll say fuck for me one more time, I'm going to give you more money.
He looks left and right, then he leans in. He's like, "Fuck."
Praise Moonhammer. And I take out 4 more gold pieces and give them to him.
You give him the 4 gold pieces. He puts them in his shoe, and then out of his pocket, he takes a silver piece, and he walks over to a jar and he puts it in. I have to put one in there every time, I swear.
Yeah, we got one on the ship.
We need it for Bucky. He's getting uppity.
As you know, we try and have nice manners in town.
Excellent. So is there anything we should see? Any sights? Anything particularly exciting we should check out?
You are in the most exciting spot in town, sir.
All right. That's good to know, Alfie. All right. You have a good day, buddy.
Feel free to come back anytime. And he hands you a bill for 50 gold.
I'm going to use the washroom. Where is it, Alfie?
The ladies' washroom is to your left. The men's washroom is to your right. We also have several unisex bathrooms at the front. And you look around and they all blatantly look like the same kind of bathroom. They've just hung signs arbitrarily.
Okay. Which one is closest to the kitchen? Which bathroom?
Either the men's or the women's would
Yeah,
be.
I'm going to walk over there and try and see if I can see what's going on in the kitchen on my way to the washroom.
I'm going to sit with the bill for a minute as Quinny goes to look.
And it's literally
I've still got 2 beers in front of me now.
And it's just for the beers. Those prices are not good.
Oh, I'm aware. We're going to deal with that when Quinny's back.
Quinny is dining and dashing. I'm going to the bathroom and you just hear... He's gone.
From what I know of Quinny, I'm assuming he's going to try to sneak and get us more information.
Yeah.
I'm going to just string things out and have a conversation with Juniper about her life.
So, Quinny, on your way to the washroom, looking into the kitchen, you can see there are a few goblins back there, and they seem to be very industriously working. You notice that one of them seems to be expertly making a cake.
I go to the washroom and hang around for the appropriate amount of time and come
Cool.
back out.
As he's coming back, I would cross to kind of meet him on the floor so we could exchange a quick thing. And I'm like, did you see anything?
Goblins in the kitchen making a cake. They're not roided out.
Okay. Here's the deal. And I show him the bill. I'm like, they're charging us 50 gold pieces for these beers. This is a fucking ripoff. I want to go check something. Can you figure out how we rip them off and get away with it?
Yeah, where's the register?
We part as Quinny goes
And
back to the
Juniper,
table.
what are you doing during this?
Is this normal? I'm asking Butthole.
Oh, you were supposed to stay at the table. Quinny,
Oh,
take
I'm
her to the
sorry.
table. Yeah, you can't all leave the table. Bars get paranoid.
Okay, so I'm just sitting there twiddling my thumbs, looking real unsure about this.
So I'm going to go to the kitchen and I just lean in the door and I go, Goblin Union?
And they both turn, and Uncle James is like, I'm sorry, sir, you can't be back here. read the coaster. I'm sorry, you're going to have to go back to work.
He's like,
Got it. James, great. No, I just wanted to tip the chef because, I mean, those beers were great.
Okay, well, I mean, the ale brewery is nowhere near here. I guess I could, next time I'm there, I can...
No, I got to give the credit to these guys. How many goblins are in the kitchen?
There's like 4. Only 2 of them turned to look at you, though.
I'm going to throw 4 gold pieces, 1 to each of the goblins in the room.
None of them move to pick them up. They hit the ground, and Uncle James is like, that's great. You really need to go.
Okay, yeah, I'm going. And I go back to my table.
Alfie, I need cleanup. And then Alfie scurries back there, and you hear some sweeping.
So?
I want to do a lap around this bar and grill situation and just pick up all the change that has been left on the tables.
I'm going to have a loud talk with Juniper while this is happening, trying to be as distracting visually as possible. So I start a big story about what it was like when I was working with the Greywater Syndicate. So I'm acting out the donkey wars. So I'm doing like braying, and I got a lot of hand movements for like donkeys carrying women off and forcing them to act like donkeys and carry stuff.
I've never met donkeys like that.
Well, they had their leader, the William Wallace of donkeys, Donkey Dallas, and he was just leading them over the hills. It was brutal. The port, and the story's very loud. I'm using thaumaturgy to summon sound effects, like just as distracting as I can.
Quinny, can you roll me an investigation check?
Total of 20.
Turns out it's been a busy day. You're finding smaller denominations, but that's fine. You can piece it together. I'd say by the end of it, you probably have 25 gold. So, Juniper, you're hearing the story about the donkeys and what's going on, but you can see that people are starting to pay too much attention, and it's weird that you aren't chiming in. So I need you to tell him a story about your experience with donkeys.
I never really had that experience with donkeys. Like, I'm not going to lie, they're not armored and vicious like they seem to be. But I did have this one donkey. He would kind of follow me around everywhere, and I just loved him.
All right, so those are our stories.
Great. Quinny comes back with 25 gold.
This is all I got right now. My only thing is I'm trying to think a few steps ahead. I would happily walk out of this fucking shithole not paying, but we've got to spend a whole day and night in this town. We don't need the extra heat.
Okay, I dropped the other 25 gold so that it's all there.
You're not going to tip?
I already tipped them.
Alpha comes over to collect the money, and he's like, oh, was there a problem with the service today, sir?
Oh, no, Alfie, my bad. You're a good dude. Sorry, I got distracted because it's just been a long day on the road and blah, blah, blah.
I understand. You guys seem to have very interesting donkey-related stories.
I drop another 10 gold pieces into the tray.
Oh, wow. Thank you, sir. He takes the money back into the kitchen.
I'm going to remember this Alfie guy.
Me too. What about you, Juniper? Will you remember Alfie?
I just wish he was happier.
It's a pretty nice wish. Do you remember when we were nice, Quinny?
No.
Well, time to go for a walk, I guess.
So you leave the bar and grill. You're kind of out in the town, and it definitely seems like the goblins have the run of the place. You also notice that the townsfolk seem to be kind of shabbily dressed compared to what you remember. I mean, Phandalin was kind of a bust town when you arrived, but based on what you've heard, it kind of had a resurgence after the work you guys had done. So you remember places in town. There's Sister Gorail's that you could go check out. There's the former Lion Shield. There's the mayor's house. There is the old mining offices that are a bit south of the city. And then there's, of course, the Temple of Moonhammer.
I imagine we'd probably go see if there were any business people we think who might still have their own business. Like, we were friends with the blacksmith here. We got him his master tools. He might be a reasonable person to swing on. Or Sister Gorail, because technically we're still, Quinny and I are members of the Harpers.
And you did stay at a tavern briefly when you were here previously, so there is also the tavern.
What do you think? Blacksmith first or Gorail first?
Let's go check out Sister Gorail.
Yeah, she's more likely to have info.
I'm on board.
This Juniper lady's fun.
Glad to have you here, Juniper.
Okay, so you make your way through town. You go to kind of find Sister Gorail at the small temple that was there. The temple seems long abandoned, and you find no trace of Sister Gorail when you enter. You can search it if you want, but just kind of coming in, it looks kind of empty and disused.
Yeah, I'll search it. I'll look it over for anything we can use as well.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I think, I'll join him in looking over, which is like valuable things or things that would be useful for any sort of resistance purpose.
Can you roll me an investigation check, please?
I'll cast guidance on myself.
17 for Quinny.
18.
And Juniper, are you searching or are you going to...
I'm going to search around. I'm going to stay within eyesight because I'm still not sure that Quinny isn't going to convince Butthole to just like abandon me. So I'm going to search around to see if there's anything that I think may be related to prophecy that may point me in the right direction.
Can you roll me either an investigation check or a history check, please?
Sure. 9. This is so different from Alan. I miss my intelligence.
Butthole, I'm going to say that you kind of immediately, since your searching is usually a little bit more empathetic, you kind of go to her quarters And you can tell it looks like whoever was here left in a hurry. So the drawers have been pulled out. It looks sort of like someone hastily packed and left. Quinny, you're kind of looking around a little bit more militantly. And you can see there do seem to be notches in the walls that look like they may have been arrow shots. You can't find any traces of weapons, but there definitely looks like this place has seen some action. And Juniper, you're reading through some of her materials. You get from these two that Sister Grail is kind of connected. There seems to be this group, the Harpers, that she's involved with. You're actually very alarmed, and you'd been warned that this might be the case, but you find absolutely no reference to the Great Collide anywhere here, which is a bit upsetting.
That's disconcerting.
Somewhat disconcerting.
Any valuables? Or has it been like turned over? Like
It looks like it's been turned over.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, pretty badly.
Plus, Garail's pretty organized. I feel like all her good stuff would have been in like a go bag.
I mean, I was also thinking of tithes or teeths or however you say that.
yeah.
You sort of go up to the altar and it looks like things have been knocked over. Again, similar to the shrine, but it looks like it's been disused. I will say, Butthole, in Sister Grail's chambers, you do find a couple of half-written letters, and one of them seems to be to Mudbutt. Just says, King Mudbutt, we need your help and then it just trails off. And it's kind of crumpled up. It looks like it was a first attempt.
Any incoming mail from the Harpers?
Yeah, can you roll me a check there, Quinny?
Total of 20.
You start looking for incoming mail. So Butthole's kind of like, I found this letter. So you start digging around. And up near the front, kind of on, for lack of a better term, like the table you just throw shit on when you enter your house.
Yeah.
You find an envelope that's been opened that says Sister Grail. Inside, you find a torn note that says, you are cordially invited to.
Does this look like a fancy invitation?
It does.
Is there any house sigil or anything like that I would recognize?
Can you roll me a history check?
It's not great.
Would I know it if we're looking over each other's shoulders as we letter?
You could roll a history check.
Total of 5 for me.
5?
14 for me.
Appears to be the royal sigil of Winchester.
Maybe it was the wedding. I don't know how long this has been like this.
Whose wedding?
Oh, no, I don't mean the wedding. Funeral. The ceremonies are very similar for Moonhammer, so I mean, it could really be one or the other.
Sure. Like,
But I mean, no,
I'm already like, I don't care.
We had the funeral that we got invited to, so this place could have been a shithole since before we were pirates.
Boy, that's a long time.
We've been away a long time.
All right, I found arrow notches in the wall. Looks like someone's firing off shots around here. I don't know if they're just fucking vandals or if a fight broke out here.
There's no money. There's no way that, like, she might leave, but she'd leave the cash. And if you got arrow notches plus money gone, this went bad.
One thing has occurred to me. Might be worth checking out the old mansion again, the Red Brand base. They had an armory full of spears and swords. You want to arm a town, might still be there.
Yeah, there are very few moments where I can step out of myself. Juniper, come join this conversation.
Yeah, I'm here.
So, technically, that is a temple of Moonhammer. And we see this temple has been both abandoned and damaged. And if I find out that something bad happened to the temple of Moonhammer, there's not going to be any sneaking left. There's just going to be a lot of, I assume, dead, jacked goblins, and then we're just going at it. So I'm thinking we might want to do some other stuff first. Because I'm already pretty close to exploding on that front. Because Nundrin and Gundren were in charge over there, and this town don't like dwarves, and those dwarves were dwarves of Moonhammer. So imagine, what I'd do if someone killed Goblin Jr., and that's what'll play out if we go inside there and it sucks now. Do we want to go there yet?
Honestly, Butthole, would that I had your self-control. No, let's go somewhere else, I guess.
Cool. Juniper, where should we go next? Our ideas aren't really panning out.
What's around?
There's a blacksmith, there's an inn.
I think, Juniper, in your travels, usually when you've come to a place that you don't know, whereas a lot of people tend to go to the tavern as kind of a paladin and someone with some official capacity, I think you usually go and check in with the city officials and kind of announce your presence and say, hello, I'm traveling, blah, blah, blah. So I think maybe your instinct would be to go and check in officially, because I think it's less that you didn't want to go to taverns and more that you felt like you should check in, because that's what,
Right. Who's running this place?
Oh, man.
That's honestly a good question.
Even if
Last
this
guy was a
I bet it's him.
weenus.
I bet it's him,
Well-
because you know who would end up working with some sort of weird occupying racist force? That fucking weenus mayor.
Totally right.
But we can lean on him and he'll fold like a deck of cards.
Well, then let's
Harbin
go.
Wester.
What?
Harbin Wester was his name.
Hard on Westerman.
Harbin Wester.
Hard on Westerman.
No, this is how he recalls it, so he's telling it to Quinny, and honestly, Quinny can't remember it, so it's hard on from here on in.
Let's go see Hard On.
Yeah, let's go. So we're going to go to the mayor's office.
You make your way back out into town, across the square. Say it's about midday now, so you've still got a bit of time. And you start making your way up to the mayor's residence. And you're just immediately, particularly Butthole and Quinny, just immediately like gently disgusted and frustrated because you remember how much of a fucking prick this guy was and how much of a pain in the ass it was.
I'm going to try and steal another ring off his hand.
Oh, yeah. Memories. So you walk up to the office, and as you're making your way up, a beggar in rags sitting next to the door who holds up a cup and says, "Please help someone down on his luck."
I throw him a gold piece.
He looks up at you with joy in his eyes and shock, really. It seems like this isn't a thing that really happens for him.
Do we recognize his face?
You do. You recognize him as Harbin Wester.
Is that you, Hard-On?
Is that you, Hard-On?
I've been called worse of late. Who? The heroes of the mines. What are you doing here? Can you help a guy out? Things really haven't been going well for me lately.
Well, that was fast. What do you need?
Well, normally I'd send you on a quest for minor experience in gold, but ever since the barrel moved in, I haven't really been doing too well.
Excuse me, the barrel?
The barrel.
We're really behind, Hard-On. We haven't been here in a year and a half.
I've never been here.
Juniper's
Hi, I'm
new.
Juniper.
Hi, I'm Harbin Wester, or hard on to my friends. And he looks at you
When
expectantly.
he can't meet his eyes.
I look at him and I'll go, "We'll allow it."
Yes, I'm in. Welcome to the Dum Dums, hard on. And he high fives himself.
Did you just fucking call us dum-dums?
He's very angry. You shouldn't angry the little one.
I'm sorry, I just remember all the cool loot you used to sell, and it used to say that. Okay, listen, I'd love to help you. Since we're friends, I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine, but we shouldn't talk here. He could come out any moment. There's goblins everywhere.
Do we want to negotiate with him, or should we go meet you in the woods?
Meeting me in the woods would definitely be a much better plan. Let's go meet in the woods.
I look at Quinny.
Sure.
Eh?
I mean,
Do
would
we-
be
do
a
we-
great place to leave a body if it
like,
comes to it.
Just give us a second, Hard-On. And I grab the two of them
Leave
and
a
I huddle.
body.
I huddle with the two of them and I'm like, guys, here's the thing. We know from our history with Hard-On that he fucking lies all the time. Is he lying right now? Do we want to deal with the mayor? Because we can't trust his info out in the woods. He made us bribe him and shit.
And now I look down at the medallion and I say, well, we could try this.
So we turn back to Hard-On and I go, so the plan is to meet you in the woods because it's way better to talk to you than to go in and talk to the guy.
Yeah, absolutely. You trust me, you don't want to talk to him.
And then I do a sly fart that only Quinny can hear as the sign to go for it.
Oh, and I hate it. I'm like, oh.
Excuse you.
I hold to the medallion and I say, Hard-On, do not fight this. And then I go in with detect thoughts.
His surface level thoughts are very excited. They're very much focused on the prospect of gold and assistance.
And I'm going to try and probe deeper now.
So he has to pass a wisdom save, is that correct?
Yes. And my DC is 14.
Ooh, he does not.
Okay.
Deeper, you can sense emotion, like there's huge excitement and hope. It seems to be. You can kind of grab images of him back in all of his finery, kind of having like a parade through town, and people are like throwing ribbons and shit on him, and everyone's going, Harbin, the best mayor.
Okay. And I end the spell.
Oh, wow, that was weird. What was that?
Just making sure your story's straight.
It is. I mean, anything for the heroes of the mines, right?
Back to the huddle, and I pulled him in. I go, Quinny, so did you figure out if he was just in it for himself or if we'd be better off talking to the other guy?
He's definitely self-interested, but he's not out to hurt us. So if helping himself means helping us, which is all we have to do to basically pause it to him, he will be 100% on board.
Okay, let's go meet him in the woods. Sound good, June?
It sounds fine. I love the woods.
All right, back to the woods it is.
So Smash cut to the woods. He comes and meets you separately. He kind of like scurries away. You kind of find a small outcropping of trees close-ish to the old mining offices, slightly more abandoned part of town. You pass several goblin patrols on your way there and kind of have to bide your time, but you're able to sneak in there. So he immediately starts to relax a bit now that you're kind of away from the town. You can see him kind of stretch, and he sits down on a log and he says, nice to talk like civilized people. And then he kind of like tries to straighten his rags so he looks a little classier.
Hard-On, what the fuck happened?
Oh,
He used
boy.
to be mayor.
A long time ago. And a single tear rolls down his face.
A year and a half ago. Tops.
Let's all calm this down. Here's the deal, Hard-On. We're going to give you 60 seconds uninterrupted to tell us what's happened, and then we're going to start interrupting you, so try to be efficient.
Can you roll me a charisma check, please? And if anyone else wants to get in with Intimidate or anything else, you're welcome to.
I'm going to roll for intimidation. I may not use it.
Okay, great.
Like,
I'll roll Intimidate.
I'm going to persuade 27.
Well, what's the point in rolling?
16.
I got 17.
Well, everything was going great here in town after you kept sending such friendly and helpful people. It was a real boom time. Everything was going real good, and it was all thanks to me, you, and of course, to some extent me for helping to maintain the city and run it as well as I do. But when those rather unpleasant fellows from the syndicate showed up with orders from the unseen hand, things went bad. They helped install a new mayor, a rather angry fellow. He's called the Barrel now. He used to be one of those miscreants, the Red Brand gang. But something happened to him. He's a monster. He's unlike anything I've ever seen. Hideous, strange, but powerful. And he's been running the town ever since.
What happened to the dwarves?
He was real mad about dwarves. very, very mad about dwarves.
Why?
So
What did they do?
Oh, Juniper, this is hard on. Just pause for a second. Huddle over here, and I pull everybody in. Juniper, this is an awkward story, but there was a house full of red brand brigands, super bad guys. So we fought a bunch of them, and we didn't want to kill one because, like you, life is precious. So we put him in a barrel. Then we thought he died, so we left him in the barrel. But I guess that's the guy. And we had a crazy dwarf with us named Mudbutt who scared the hell out of him and hit him with an axe. So that's probably why he hates dwarves.
Because of one run-in with one dwarf.
That's the problem with racism. Honestly, it's a confirmation bias. They all have it. It's a real problem. They just remember the negative.
Okay, we're taking this guy down, right?
Oh, yes.
Juniper coming around.
I like this.
Not necessarily
person.
killing him.
No, she's on team murder. Let's do it.
No. Down does not mean murder.
This episode of Dum Dums and Dragons features the voices of Ryan LaPlante at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter, Tyler Hewitt at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter, Laura Hamstra at EL Hamstring on Twitter, and our DM Tom McGee at McGeeTD on Twitter. This episode's sound was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and Dum Dums and Dragons artwork is by Del Borovic, who can be found at delborovic.com. Our theme songs are And Now for That Massive Coronary and Skipping Through the Orchestra Pit Part 1 by Peter Gresser, and our ad music is No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR, all available at freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice. But most importantly, we've got merchandise at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice, or you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/dumdumdice. That's DUMBDUMBDICE. And tune in next week for more Dum Dums and Dragons.